What's up, everybody? So, I'm just gonna dive right in. And the fact is, I don't really care about how much money you've made in cryptocurrency or outside of cryptocurrency. I don't really give a shit about if you bought Ethereum at $1 and you wrote it up to $1,400. I don't really care if you've got a portfolio that's 100,000, 100 million. It really doesn't matter. What matters right now, specifically in this moment in time, while we're in the middle of a bear market and while we're in the middle of an emerging industry that none of us really know where it's going. We're all positive about it. We're all hopeful about it. And what really matters is that you're building something. You have to be building something. You have to be creating something. You have to be contributing something to this space. And that's really what I'm about here to talk to you about. Is there's a lot of people in here that are contributing. There's a lot of people that are adding value, that are adding what they believe value is, and it all lies around why you're doing it. Like, what are you doing to add to the space, and why are you doing it to add it to the space? And what I'm trying to get at here is there are too many people in the industry right now. There are too many people and companies that are being built on immoral practices. There are too many people, there are too many companies, I will repeat, that are being built on immoral practices. Now, what does this mean? There are too many people running around trying to grab money and make a quick, short-term exit from the industry. And while, if that's your play, good luck to you. I don't really want to have anything to do with you. There are also people in the industry that are building for the long term. They believe, like the man who just spoke, that we're in an emerging industry, something that's going to change the world, change the face of the world, change the way that other industries function via the technology that's being built today and beginning to be built today. And that's something that I believe. That's what I'm up here to talk to you about. And while we're in an emerging industry and while we're all very confident about what's going on, there is still a heavy, heavy amount of uncertainty that needs to be addressed, that needs to be looked at, and it really all revolves around transparency. And why does it revolve around transparency? Well, the fact of the matter is the issue with the majority of the companies that have been running ICOs, raised lots of money, attempting to build things in the industry, the problem with all of them is that they lack transparency. And the lack of transparency is killing their ability to actually create a community, to actually build a solid following, and to actually build a legitimate business. Now, we're in an unregulated industry, and in other industries, well, we're in an unregulated industry for the present time. And in other industries, there is regulation forced upon them by the government. Now, positive or negative, that's not for me to decide, that's not for me to judge, but as of right now, we're in an unregulated industry that needs to be held to a certain standard. Well, government will come in and they will hold it to a certain standard, or we can come in and we'll hold it to a certain standard, but really what I'm trying to get at is we need to stimulate the economy, and we need to bring about more transparency. We need these companies to be more transparent about what they're doing with our funds that they've raised, what they're going to do with funds that they are raising, where they are in development, hundreds and hundreds of other things that I could talk to you about and list off, but those are the main key points that we need to build transparency around, or we need to build our companies around in the foundation of transparency. And now, why do we need to do this? Why is this important? Well, the fact of the matter is it's extremely important because if we don't do this, where is everybody else going to come into this industry from? Why are they going to want to come into the industry? Why are they going to want to invest in new projects, in new startups that actually may bring about new technology that evolves the industry? Well, they're not. They're not going to want to. And they're not going to want to because of fear. Now, We've seen it happen in certain countries like China. I was just in China last week and talked to multiple people who are working with the government over there, and they specifically told me, we're not against cryptocurrency and we're not against blockchain technology, but the problem is that there are so many scams going on in this industry right now, and there's no transparency around them being scams, that our people, the people of China, are getting brutalized. They're losing money, and it's hurting the face of cryptocurrency as a whole because it forces Chinese government, I'm sure there's probably other reasons, but it's forcing Chinese government to create bans. And why I'm talking about this right now is I fear that it's going to force other countries to create bans. I fear that it's going to bring about an industry that I don't even really want to be a part of because we don't have morals and we haven't set up a structure that actually makes us feel good about what we're doing. Because beyond making money and beyond building an industry, like, the fact of the matter is we all want to feel good about what we're doing. We all want to feel good about what we're creating and the reason that we're creating it. And I really believe that if we begin to put more transparency initiatives in place in our own ventures, then we're going to force other people to have to look at it that way. And I think that there's people that are already doing it. CZ Binance, you know, he's doing some really good things. He's putting up transparency as a key initiative of Binance, and a lot of other people are following. And while my time's running out here, I pretty much just want to say that if you're in the industry and you're building something that matters, that you believe in, that you want to be around for a very long period of time, I implore you to look into how you can be more transparent with your audience. Because your community at the present time only cares about the price of the coin. But if you begin to be more transparent with them about where your funds are going, what your plans are for the future, add it in detail as much as physically possible. If you're able to be more transparent with them, you'll create a community that actually cares about you beyond the price of the coin, actually cares about what you're building technology-wise, actually cares about what you're trying to do for the blockchain world and the world beyond that. So, guys, transparency, that's what it is. Thank you.